Hi, Aquarius. Thanks for your patience with your January 2019 reading. I appreciate it. It was a really rough December, and I'm still kind of like recovering from December and actually November energies. And I kind of feel like you guys are too, um, which is really interesting to even start this reading that way because um, so much has been happening in your 12th house for so long. And when Saturn finally gets to Aquarius, it's going to um, bring out all of the lessons that you've been learning. Like everything that's been happening is not for just because the universe is angry with everyone, right? Sagittarius had a really hard Saturn return. Capricorn has had a really hard Saturn return. Saturn will still be in Capricorn through 2019. So, learning about your spirituality and all of the karmic lessons within that. We also have the South Node in Capricorn, which is about your karmic lessons as well. And that's going to be all the way through 2019. It's really a cleanup time. And I feel like you guys have been doing that, like maybe even physically, possibly spiritually, but you're recognizing who you want in your world and what you actually want to do with your life, and it's amazing. Like for me to see a lot of my Aquarian friends really kind of like coming into their own right now. You're one of the signs that is kind of like born into spirituality. You already have that inner knowing that there's more out there in the world. A lot of people call you the aliens of the zodiac, but that's because a lot of people don't understand you. And maybe you are the aliens of the zodiac, but hold on a second. Gotta put it on Do Not Disturb. I always forget that part. And then I get distracted. Maybe you are, but you're such an expansive sign. And it doesn't matter if you're sun, moon, or rising Aquarian, the expansion that you guys just bring to other people's lives and to your lives is amazing. So I want you to really look at that as we go through these eclipses in January, because there will be some, like this weekend on the 5th, there's an eclipse in Capricorn, which is your 12th house. And then your 7th house, there will be an eclipse in Leo. Full moon eclipse on the 20th, 21st of January. And when we're dealing with the 7th house of relationships, you're often finding, because eclipses will bring people in and move people out. So I want you to like really recognize how significant that is happening in your life. And maybe the eclipses are already working. And eclipse energy really works for like 6 months afterwards. So, and I feel like you guys want more, and that's what you've really been fighting for. I still kind of feel like you're not entirely sure what that is that you're wanting or you're fighting for. We have the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Wands and the Page of Cups. And so the Knight of Wands is that, represents Sagittarius. You could be dealing with Sagittarius. But it's that in and out, like, I'm not really sure what direction I'm going, what decision I need to make, where I'm headed from here. And the Nine of Wands, perseverance. You guys got through 2018, and believe me, 2018 was like the heavy sigh year, like deep, heavy sigh. And it's funny, a very good friend of mine is coining 2019 the year of authenticity, and I really feel that for you guys because you want more. The Page of Cups is a card of wanting more. Like, whenever I see the Page of Cups or the Page of Pentacles, it's like, could you just give me a little bit more? Like, I don't even need much, just a little bit. Like, everybody needs that little push forward. And I don't even know if that's from a particular person, could be a water sign. But you crave so much more in your life right now. Oh, could be a water sign. There we go. King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And maybe you want more from a water sign. Maybe you want to offer more to a water sign. Maybe this is brand new, but it's Looks good. 6 of Wands. And there you are, the King of Swords. And this definitely represents Aquarius because kings are of the fixed nature, right? Aquarius is fixed. So much you've learned. And the 9 of Wands is saying that. Like, look back at the year and see what you've learned. Not where you failed, but where you thrived from your perceived failures. I call them perceived failures because in truth, we're not actually failing in things. We're just learning lessons. It's growth. It's evolution. But when you guys feel like you've done something wrong, or when you feel like you've done something to hurt somebody else or even hurt yourself, you overthink it. And instead of overthinking it, just be grateful for it. Say thank you for the lessons. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your time. I'm moving along, right? In fact, I almost want to call the video moving along, you know? Because I feel like that's what you're doing. You're allowing yourself to live in your truth and in your authenticity, and you're only going to bring, okay, so those cards almost wanted to come out. I don't even know what they were. You're only allowed to bring the people that will be there for you, that are going to be your confidants, right? And I feel like January is big on learning about that. 7 of Pentacles on the Knight of Wands. So if you're waiting for a fire sign to show up, I feel like you'll still be waiting in January. If this isn't a fire sign, I feel like you're kind of just waiting for the universe to show you signs. Sometimes the 7 of Pentacles for me is like very representative of, could I get a sign already? Definitely don't lie to yourself that you haven't accomplished things in 2018. As you come into 2019, don't lie to yourself about that, because you're actually in a much more favorable position than you think you are. The 5 of Swords on the 9 of Wands is making me feel like you guys are like lying. And when I say lying to yourself, it's like, I'm not good enough. I didn't do enough. I failed at this. This didn't happen. This, you know, all the things that you thought were supposed to happen for you in 2018, and it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. And now you're beating yourself up for it. That's lying. That's lying to yourself. And one of the biggest things about being authentic is being totally honest with yourself. You're actually in a much more favorable position than you think you are. Now, you could be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus, since the Empress does represent that. But I feel like it's your energy. I feel like instead of looking in the outside world for something that's going to make you feel better about who you are and what you're doing, you've found it within you. You've mastered yourself, or you're on the road to. So instead of saying, world, give me more, instead of being the Page of Cups and saying, world, give me more, I want more, I'm not satisfied, recognize that that's in you. Recognize that it's in you already. So let's see who this King of Cups is. Yes. The King of Cups, I feel like you're holding on to this person. I almost want to say relentlessly. And so I have the 4 of Pentacles on the King of Cups. If this is a person, you know, sometimes the 4 of Pentacles isn't a bad thing. Sometimes this is just being very stable and knowing what you want and going for it. And if that's the case, if you've finally found what you want and it's a water sign or somebody who has heavy water in their chart, you're holding on to it because it's like, finally I found it and I don't want this to slip through my fingers. The one thing I want to say about the 4 of Pentacles is when we hold on to something a little tightly, we are not giving space for the universe to work. So remember that in all of this, because the only way that and this could actually be you holding on to your own emotions too, being kind of stubborn. Aquarians can be stubborn. Virgos are stubborn too. I'm not throwing shade at you. Watch the Virgo video. There were a lot of Virgos that were pissed off at me for January. A lot of Tauruses were too. Was it Tauruses? I don't remember. Somebody was like super angry with me, one of the signs, because I tell the truth and I like won't sugarcoat it. I feel like you're building up for something and you've had to create healthy boundaries for it, or you're still in the process of creating healthy boundaries for it. And I love that for you guys. I think it's like so amazing and fantastic that you've gotten to a place. And this is why your reading is one of the last readings, because I feel like you guys have progressed so much more that all of these shifts and all of this energy that's going on is not affecting you as hard as some of the other signs. Yes, there are probably some Aquarians out there that are having a very tough and difficult time right now, but you guys can work with the energy in a much easier way than some of the other signs can. And it's because you don't have all the focus on you. Lilith is still in Aquarius right now, but I feel like you guys navigated that really well. I think it was more of lying to yourself than other people gossiping about you or you gossiping about people, because Lilith in Aquarius is all about the communication and the gossip, and Lilith brings all the bad things up, right? She brings the shadow side of everybody up. And so yes, there's that transit, but until Mercury comes into your sign, which will happen, I believe it's at the end of January, Mercury goes into Aquarius, there's really not a lot of focus, heavy duty focus on Aquarius. And so that's why I feel like you guys are navigating this energy a lot easier than other people might be. So if you see your friends, Scorpios or Sagittarius or Virgos or Taurians, who else is having a pretty difficult time? Capricorns kind of are. If you see your friends going through a difficult time, maybe give them a little boost of your energy, because you guys are learning to create healthy boundaries. The Seven of Wands and the Three of Pentacles on the Six of Wands. You're fighting for your cause. You're fighting for what you want to do in your life. You're looking at the people that you want to bring in on all of the big deals and the things that you want to do, right? And you're creating healthy boundaries with the people that have kind of fallen by the wayside. And maybe not like they haven't fallen by the wayside in a really bad way, but energy ebbs and flows. People come in and out of our lives for reasons. But if you've been hurt in the past, it's almost like you're putting up a shield around your emotions. That's almost what this feels like to me. The Four of Pentacles on the King of Cups. You could be putting up a shield around your emotions for somebody else, but I feel like you're just kind of like shielding yourself in a lot of really good ways right now, healthy ways. If you're waiting for a sign from the universe on the next move for you to do, get quiet. I know it's really hard for you guys to get quiet in your mind sometimes. See, and this is exactly what I mean. I don't want you to get stagnant because you're not seeing things clearly. The Two of Swords on the King of Swords. I don't want you to get stuck because you didn't get quiet, because you have, you want to get out there in the world and start seeing things and doing things and being really big, right? Bigger. You want to be bigger. But if you're in a Two of Swords state, you're not seeing everything, you're blindfolded. You're kind of stagnant. She's kind of guarded there. So what I'm saying, like, put up your healthy boundaries, that's really good. But if you're waiting for a sign from the universe, it's time to get quiet. If you have to do a guided meditation to get quiet, by all means. I do it all the time. I had to do one this morning because my brain was on like overload this morning. So, and there's plenty of those on YouTube. I did like a chakra rebalancing this morning with a guided meditation on YouTube. Because you want to be receptive, and a Two of Swords state is not receptive. You're getting, it's like, that's the whole, that's what you want. That's the purpose of all of this, right? You're becoming you. And if you have to travel to do that, Three of Wands, if you have to move away from a Capricorn to do that, or if you have to recognize that you need to go see a Capricorn because there's a really strong relationship and you've been really working on it and you really want something to happen, okay? Oh my God. All right. I feel like there's disappointment around a Capricorn or some kind of karmic tie that you have. So we have the Three of Wands. I feel like you're looking elsewhere. It's almost like this person taught you a lot. It doesn't have to be a Capricorn, but it feels like a karmic tie to somebody that you had a pretty strong connection with, the Lovers and the Devil. But with the if you look at the Three of Wands, the way that this is going, the Three of Wands guy he has his back turned to all of that jazz right there. And I feel like you're looking in a new direction because you're almost stronger without the tie there, right? You're almost strong. And this is what I mean by Empress mode. If you're looking in the outside world to fulfill you and to make you happy in some way, shape, or form, I feel like you're going to be sadly disappointed because really your abundance lies within you. I know that's a really cheesy thing to say, but that's who I am. If you haven't been on my Instagram lately, or you didn't know about my Instagram, Fearless Intuition 1111, you can get a lot of updates there. Like I've been on it daily recently just to keep everybody updated. I think I'm going to start doing lives over there as well as I'll probably start doing more lives on YouTube this year as well. But it's nice because it's almost cozier on Instagram because there's not so many people. Like I think I have like 1,400 followers there, so it's not the 60,000. So the energy is a little bit more cozier. So anyways, my whole point was the whole optimism thing. Like if you go there and you see all the memes or the posts that I'm putting up, it's like Little Miss Optimism came out. You know, I mean, I've always been that person, but that's what I'm saying is you're getting to a point to where you're living in your authenticity, and whether that means you're being a cheesy optimist, because, you know, a lot of people are going to look at you and be like, why are you so, like, things aren't exactly going very well in your life to them in their perceived way. They think your life isn't going the way you want it to just because something didn't work out. And you're like, you know, that's fine. It just wasn't for me. Next. Thank you, next. Right? So be authentic within yourself. And I think that that's what 2019 is all about for you guys. It's been a long road. It's been pretty heavy getting to this Four of Wands. And I think that there's been a lot of disappointments along the way with the Five of Cups and the Five of Wands. But I kind of feel like that this is all an illusion now, or you're looking at what was really disappointing and kind of fighting with yourself inside of what that disappointment was. And I feel like you're recognizing, oh, I don't really need to be disappointed about that because I actually have everything that I need. And I feel like it has to do with whatever karmic tie you felt like you were tied to a karmic situation, or to a situation with a Capricorn, a water sign, possibly another air sign, maybe a Libra or Taurus, but or even a Gemini. It could be a Gemini too. But whatever it is that you were really super disappointed in, on the other side of this disappointment is the Ten of Cups. Oh my God. And the Ten of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups. And the Sun. And the Fool. So we go from the Five of Cups and the Five of Wands to the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Sun, and the Fool. That eclipse in your 7th house is bringing you a lot of abundance. I feel like there's a new relationship here. And the relationship, again, could be with any of the signs I mentioned here, but I feel like it's an equal give and take, man. And it's after you walk away and you recognize where you were hurt in the past. I know I just went through all those cards, but really, like, all those cards are exactly what's right here. After you recognize, oh man, I don't have to be disappointed in that because it was good. It was with me for a while, but I don't need it. I don't need it. And the second that that happens, boom. Love, marriage, home, feeling really good, prosperity, health, abundance, new beginnings. And it's because you stood in your power and you stood in your authenticity. Pretty good January. If you're not feeling this way right now, I feel like more towards the end of January, when these eclipses start to really show you the truth about what you've been holding on to and what you need to let go of, things will start happening in a very synchronistic way. These Seven of Pentacles, these signs that you've been waiting for from the universe will start showing up. Pay attention. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to what people are saying to you. Pay attention to what's on the radio. I don't care. It's leading you in a direction of new beginnings and abundance and happiness, which I absolutely love for you. Absolutely. Like, it's about time, right? It's about time. So I really want to know how everybody is doing. The Two of Swords kind of scares me a little bit because I feel like you guys might miss some opportunities if you don't keep your eyes and ears open. Don't close yourself off this month. Really don't close yourself off this month because there's a lot of goodness on the horizon. I think this might have been the shortest reading for January. And I'm sorry about that, but it was so good. Like, I don't even know what else I can say. Lots of messages coming in, more of a give and take. Look at that Ace of Cups, self-love and love from other people. After a time of walking away from things that aren't serving you anymore and you recognizing that you don't have to be sad over the stuff that isn't real. Because truly, if it was real, it would still be in your life. If you're holding on to something that you really wanted to work out, but they're not showing up, or you've already walked away from it, you're seeing that. And then that's when all the opportunities come in, possibly from an earth sign. Don't get stuck. I feel like and this is one of the things, I feel like if I give too much information to Aquarius, to you guys, this is kind of why I wanted to stop the reading before, but that's okay. We'll keep going. I feel like if I give too much information to you guys sometimes, you get up in your head and you're like, oh my God, when is it going to happen to me? Oh my God, oh my God. And it's not the, you get super excited. And it's not the, it's not that you're not looking for the signs. You almost might be looking for the signs too much, and that's when you overlook them. Just stay calm. I'm telling you, Aquarius, to stay calm. Oh, that's funny. Make sure that the earth sign's offering you everything that you deserve, especially if it's a Capricorn. Don't get scared. I feel like with the Nine of Swords and the Three of Swords here is you getting scared that you're going to get hurt again. If somebody new shows up in your life, you're like, oh, holy crap. Or if an old person comes back into your life, I don't feel like it's old. I feel like it's brand new. But if it's like this fear, this perceived fear that something's going to happen, or this fear that something bad is going to happen, that everything's just going to fall apart. That's what this is. It's a fear of it happening. It's not actually happening. I don't feel like anybody's really getting their heart broken in January. And if you did, I'm really sorry. Or if you are getting your heart broken, I feel like maybe you've already had your heart broken and you're moving past that and you're coming into your power and you're meeting somebody new, or more than one somebody new, more than one somebody's coming in, and you get scared. You're going to get scared, right? And don't, but you will, but don't. I love you guys. January readings are filling up really fast. So I wanted to tell you that because if you want to get a reading from me in January on my website, I only have openings like the last week. It was crazy how fast my calendar like opened up or filled up for January. And then, of course, we'll start doing February readings. I am going to have the January 2019 readings out with a new option to be able to buy the second half of the year, because I didn't do that last year. And I will also be doing the soulmate reading. So I'm going to be really busy in January. Super, super exciting year. I'm excited for 2019. I hope you guys are too. I love you so much. Thank you for your support through 2018. It's going to be a good year. Bye.